we have just arrived at the expo. There are 4 different entrances that you can come in. There is mobility, opportunity, sustainability, and then the metro entrance. And we've come to sustainability. We've already picked up our tickets. We were advised to get them at the gas station because there's sometimes big queues here. It doesn't actually seem too bad, but now we can go through the fast track. And we paid 95 dirhams for a 1-day pass. You can get a weekly pass as well, which saves you a little bit of money, but we're going to go day by day, I think. It's a fairly straightforward process to get in. There's a QR code on the ticket and your bags are scanned, and you either have to show your proof of vaccination or do a PCR test. It's free to do one here, but the results take about 4 hours, so if you're not vaccinated, then you're going to have to plan in advance to get that test. And this is the entrance to the sustainability area district. Hello. It's so huge here, so huge, and this is just one of the sectors. It's almost a little bit overwhelming to know where to start. So there are 192 different country pavilions here, and each country got to pick which sector they were in, and I've come into the Lithuania one to have a look around. This is in the sustainability sector, and there's lots here to do with filming in Lithuania. So the lady was saying that a lot of TV programs and films, like Stranger Things, were actually filmed in Lithuania, which a lot of people don't know. Now all of these different exhibits show what each country is doing towards either sustainability or future mobility. With so much going on, it can be a little bit overwhelming and hard to know where to start, but there is an Expo app which obviously shows you all the different events and activities that are happening each day and can direct you to all the different country pavilions. It's fascinating actually. They're all so different. So this one here is Uzbekistan. Designed of course to look a little bit like the buildings in Bukhara and Tashkent. Structure is the Wasl stage, or Wasl Pavilion, which is halfway between sustainability and mobility, and they have a lot of big performances on here. There's nothing on right now, but you can check the schedule and see what's on throughout the expo. There are plenty of food options all around, and we had decided to go and eat at Grand Beirut, but we did have to wait for a little bit as the ruler of the UAE was eating here first, but it probably just means that we made a good decision on food, and we've got some really tasty options here. We've got falafel, halloumi, feta, all nice and fresh. So we're feeling suitably refreshed after some lunch and the coffee, and now we're going to be heading into the Sustainability Pavilion, which is the crown jewel of the sustainability sector, obviously. And then I think we're going to catch one of the electric trains to a different area to explore there. There's actually so much to see. The app is quite helpful though, and you definitely need to pick up a map as you wander around as well. So there's lots of different games inside the pavilion here which help teach people about climate change and what we can do to protect the planet and the oceans. So it's quite good fun actually. It's not just aimed at kids, maybe big kids as well. selfies. If you don't mind getting a bit wet. We're gonna have a wander around, shall we? Very fun part of the expo is a water feature designed by a company called WET, and well, it might be WET or WET, and they do a number of water features around the world, including the famous waterfall in Changi Airport in Singapore. And this is very Instagrammable. The waves crash down, and every so often they have a song playing, an orchestral song which was written by one of the composers from Game of Thrones. And all the waves crash in time to the music, which is great fun. Some of these countries' pavilions are just incredible. That Russia one behind me, it's very fancy. That's Turkmenistan, just there. And this goes without saying, but obviously with all of these different countries exhibiting, it's a very diverse place, both in terms of people working here and the visitors as well. Most of the exhibits seem to be run by people from their respective countries. So we've been chatting to people from all over the world, which has been very lovely. So this sector we're in now is the mobility sector, and the buildings in this sector are quite impressive actually. They seem a little bit bigger and grander than some of the ones in the sustainability area. Wow, this is Australia we're coming up to. It looks very fancy. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Can you help me with something? I was half expecting this little robot guy to be able to answer some questions, but he just keeps saying good afternoon over and over. Just arrived in the Opportunity District and we're heading towards the music. Seems to be quite a lot of performances on at the moment. This looks like it's coming from Belarus. This robot is ignoring me as well.
Excuse me. I am in charge of the security here. Please let me through.
What did Matthew say? He's a security robot.
I am in charge of the security here. Please let me through.
We're not quite sure what the security robot's looking for, but we'll let him do his job. Open until midnight every day, and so it's definitely a good idea to stay until as late as you can because everything looks so different at night time here. It's all lit up. There's loads of musical performances as you wander around. It's almost more impressive at night time than it is during the day. that country. And at night time it really has come alive actually. There's so much going on now. And it's only about 8 o'clock, so there's still another 4 hours of the expo to go. Enjoying some of the light shows and musical performances in the different pavilions on the different stages as well. There's something going on almost every stage around actually. Some of them come up on the app, but a lot of the performances don't seem to be scheduled, so it's worth just wandering around and seeing what's going on. And I've had an incredible day. It's been so much fun. I've learned a lot, and I think you could definitely spend days here actually. There's a weekly pass and an unlimited pass for the whole season as well, which is probably worth getting if you're living out here and planning on coming back a few times. I hope that this was informative and helpful for you guys, and thanks so much for watching.